Okay, so this was given to me this afternoon by a longtime family friend who found this at the school he works at, and they were about to throw it away. And they found it, or they said he could take it home or take it with him. So, and he knows I like this kind of stuff, so he brought it to me this afternoon. And it's a Califone 1420K. And this is one of the good ones that has an AC motor. The only downside is that it has a plastic platter, but I'm sure if I find another one of these that's kind of in rougher shape, I could get a black metal platter for it. But it seems to run even, so I'm not complaining. And I would love to get in touch with the person who does all the technology stuff. I'd like to go down to the building, wherever the hell that is in town, and go there where they keep all the old electronics go to rot and languish away in a warehouse. I'd love to go there and bring home like a trunk load of these record players, but it works surprisingly well. And the platter, and this doesn't have a metal bushing in it, and it seems to be running pretty straight. So actually, I'm probably just going to keep this how it is, and thankfully the 89T is good. So yeah, there we go. Honestly, if I had the means, I would totally make these a static 89T cartridges again with the LP flip needle varieties, and I'd make them where they're like under 25 bucks, and make them where they take both channels of a stereo record and combine them to mono. And I'm probably just, hopefully the cartridge wires, hopefully they don't get broken off, because yeah, I don't want to have to take this thing up. I don't want to have to go resolder them to the tone or the cartridge bot or the cartridge holder, but hopefully they won't break off. And seems how, since I really don't own many 78s, I mean, I have a few 78s, probably about 10 of them, or probably about, actually I have probably about 15, 20 78s, like the 10-inch kind, and a couple of the really old, like this one, 12-inch ones that are single-sided. But I don't know, I don't know why I've never really gotten into 78s. It's probably, well, one, because I don't know, because not many record players now have the speed or whatever, but they're really breakable. And I mean, these styrene 45s, they're not far behind it, but still. But yeah, I don't know. And here we'll try it with a 45, and this was the hot song in July of 1967. And about the halfway mark of this record, it's pretty much just distortion. And I like the stereo version a lot better. And this has the rear firing 4x10-inch speaker. And windy has storm. Everyone knows it's windy. But yeah, I would love to find the warehouse where all of the old electronics go to languish away for decades, until they're either, one, thrown away, or until they're rendered useless. But no, hopefully one day I can go to the warehouse where they keep all the old electronics that have been retired. Hopefully I can go there one day and get a carload of these Califone record players and some film strip projectors and tape recorders. thankfully, this is one that's made in USA, and it has an AC motor in it, which that's nice. And so you can pretty much date all these Caliphones. You can pretty much date them if they have you can pretty much date them, because if they have a DC motor, they're made after the mid to late 80s. Or, yeah, no, take that back. You can pretty much date a Califone record player by opening up, or by taking off the platter, or opening it up and seeing that it has a DC motor. Because if it has a DC motor, you can definitely date it that it's either the late 80s or newer. And if it's still made in USA and it has a DC motor, then it's probably from like the late 80s, early 90s, because they had the 1010 AV. They offered that. They offered it in different versions. One of them, it looked like this. It had DC motor. It had a DC motor, but it was made in USA. And they had another one. And I think the other two versions, or something like that, they were made in China, and they just had a little switch. But they offered that model until like 2004, and I think they were still selling it in like really early 2005. And then they had the 1005 AV, which that was just a rebadged Crosley. Here, and we'll try out our rare vinyl copy of We 5's You Were On My Mind. Most of these were pressed on styrene, but this one's on vinyl, surprisingly. It's in decent shape. I know, shouldn't play it on this, but I really don't care. I wish that this song was originally released on stereo, because I mean it came out in '65, and stereo was well in use by then. But yeah, I wish that they recorded this in true stereo originally, because I've posted two versions. I've tried making it sound like stereo. I'd say the one where it's the rechanneled, where I didn't add any reverb, because I don't know why, but I guess the original masters or the album version, it has a little bit of reverb on this, so it didn't sound that great. But whatever. Let's try this other song. Or actually, you know what? Let's try an LP. We'll play a selection from Tammy Wynette's Take Me to Your World / I Don't Want to Play House album. And this is on the red. It's not on Epic. It's on Columbia Special Products. Bought this at a record store for $1. And I'm going to play you Ode to Billy Joe. Now, that one's actually not half bad. It's pretty good, actually, but obviously it's not as good as Bobby Gentry's version, but I like both versions. Both versions are pretty good. Why is this not... The fuck? Okay, there we go. It wasn't... This drive mechanism needs to be a little, like, lubricated. The hell?
Word of June, it was the 3rd of June, another sleepy, dusty Delta day. And then she said, I got some news this morning from Choctaw Bridge. Today, Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
Here, and we'll try this 78. This is a Mercury non-breakable plastic 78.
Oh, it's a girl wearing infected. Well, I'm waiting, and I'm praying she'll come walking through that door any minute. I'm waiting.
Now we'll spin some Dottie West that's cut way too short. It's cut, the song is about 2 minutes and 3 seconds. They cut it down to 1 minute and 5. Come on, work, you turd. Come on, fucking work. This thing's carving up this record, but I really don't give a shit. It's not like I'm going to be playing my good records on this, and this is not something I'm going to be using every day. And this record's pretty much shot. The cover's all fucked up, and you can see it's got a nice crack in it here. And I was just one day I was just holding it like this, and it just cracked. So yeah, and honestly, I don't think they really made these with the highest quality materials. I mean, this is Star Day, and I think they were, I wouldn't say low end, but I don't think their technology was that, because a lot of the recordings I've heard, or I don't know, they just sounded like bad or something, but I don't know. They're okay, just I don't think this record was pressed with made with the highest quality materials.
It ain't no. Well, I'm waiting.
Okay, let's service this drive mechanism. Now, I'm not going to do a full teardown because it still works, but I am going to clean the inner rim of the platter, and I'm also going to clean, I'm going to clean the pause part because it doesn't always engage. Seems to work good. Yeah, and it has a rear firing 4x10-inch speaker. Probably so the front could face the teacher and they could have this part face the class, I'm guessing. Good. And here we are with an LP.